Hello Gemini, welcome to your mid-month February 2023 tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond just the details that I'm providing, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, we've got the Chariot card to start us out with. Let's put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread and see what else comes out today. It seems like a lot of good energy. Some court cards, some more major arcana, some more court cards, some fire. It's looking pretty good. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Let's use the Rider-Waite-Smith today. This has been pre-shuffled, but I like to just kind of... We're going to put that right there. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading, so be sure to stick around, and hopefully that will tie everything together and kind of give us the confirmation or the conclusion that we're looking for at the very end. Okay. So the first card that we start out with is this Chariot card. I feel like right now you're in a position in your life where, like, for the next 2 weeks, for the rest of this month, you know, I feel like you really have to put your kind of best foot forward. It's really a focus on, like, being responsible, on hard work, okay? On, you know, kind of staying focused on your goals right now, okay? It may seem like it's kind of an easy time for you to get sidetracked, distracted. It may be, it may have been a long month already. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just been a lot of work and you're just kind of waiting for the kind of finish line to show up. I think you're someone that can stick to your task pretty well. You know what I mean? Once you set your mind to something, once you get started on a project, I feel like you follow it through to the end, because that's kind of just how you are. That's the kind of person that you are. You know, you don't just do things halfway. Okay, so I feel like we're kind of halfway through the month. We've got a couple more weeks to go. It's a short month. I think we can resolve things pretty quickly, pretty easily. This is, you know, really the success or the failure of whatever you're involved in right now is really dependent on you. Okay, I think this card is really saying that despite anything else that may be going on in your life or any other energies that are involved, despite all of this, the rest of these cards, it's still ultimately up to you which way this thing's going to turn out. Okay, and we're going to see if we can kind of narrow this down. It seems to me like it might be something regarding your work or your ambition or your career or something like that. I don't really feel much of a romantic vibe here. I think it's about kind of taking charge in the workplace, or maybe what you do for money. Not even necessarily that. I feel like it's what you do for meaning, for purpose. Do you know what I mean? And I think with this Chariot card, you've been involved in this for a long time, and I think the closer we get to that finish line, the more exhausted you feel, the more it may be kind of manifesting as like just some stomach trouble. You know, this card rules Cancer. Cancer kind of rules the stomach area, right? So I feel like there might be some kind of like a digestive midsection component to what's going on here. And it could just be that the closer you get to the end, you're starting to feel the stress and kind of the wear and tear that this project has taken on you. But keep at it, because I think the goal is literally like right around the corner. And I think that when it does arrive, it's going to be a blessing. It's going to be something that you are incredibly proud of, incredibly satisfied by, and it's going to be worth all of the effort. Okay, so whatever it is that you're working on, it's not necessarily your career, it doesn't have to be what you're doing for money, but it's something that you feel a strong connection to. You feel like it's your purpose. I feel like with that Chariot card, I feel like this is kind of your quest, right? This is what you've committed yourself to, and you see it almost as your purpose, as like your holy task, you know? So I feel like you really are seeing it through till the end. And let's go to the recent past now, because something has recently concluded or wrapped up, or Maybe this was you establishing some kind of a system, putting something into place. I feel like there was recently, maybe in the last few months, there was an event where you either had to kind of shut down something or replace something. You know what I mean? I'm getting a feeling of like replacement. It's almost like you implemented a new system somewhere, or you made a definite decision to be through with the old method and you're trying a new way. You know what I mean? So I feel like something's been replaced. Okay. And I don't know if that was maybe the job was replaced, maybe you had to replace some people who were involved, maybe you had to replace the way you're approaching your project, your work, your purpose, whatever this is that you're doing. Okay. But something had to be like swapped out. You know, it's kind of, and not through any kind of trouble or malfunction or disagreement or conflict. It kind of has this feeling that their usefulness has run its course. Okay, the usefulness of whatever it was, a person or a system or a method. It's kind of it's done. It's not useful anymore. So then it had to be replaced. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of a recent thing. And now I feel in the present, you've got this new system that's working, and it really is functioning quite nicely. Like everything seems to be running very well. The Six of Swords here is showing a beautiful harmony in the system now. Okay, so this could be anything, a work project, it could be a project at home, it could be just a relationship with you and someone else or with a group of people. I think it's related to your personal work, though, something that you find very meaningful. Okay. And I think everything seems to be running really smoothly. The issue this week, I think, is this Chariot card and you feeling like the closer we get to the finish line, either it's making you a little nervous, getting close to the end, and you're getting the kind of the upset tummy from that, you know, or the butterflies or the anxiety. It could just be that the further we get to the finish line, the more you push yourself, the more it's starting to take that physical toll. Okay, but I feel like the system around you is beautiful, it's harmonious, you're fulfilling your purpose, everything seems to be working out really nicely. Okay, at least this week, and maybe because you've made this replacement, whatever this kind of replacement part was. Okay, you swapped something out, and now things are running really nice. So maybe this Chariot card is talking about a kind of recovery of this, you know, the tummy troubles, the relief of that anxiety, of that stress that's kind of running you down physically. Now that you've made this exchange, this replacement or whatever, and the system is functioning properly, now you can focus on restoring your health and just making that final push to the finish line. You know what I mean? So it could be that it could be that way. It could be that the health is going to be restored now. Now that we have this harmony with the Six of Swords, your kind of vitality is going to return, right? Your strength and your fortitude is going to be there again. But again, with that Six of Swords, I feel like everything right now is just pretty, like you couldn't ask for it to be better. It's smooth. It's just functioning in a nice rhythm, a nice harmony. I think you've just got to deal with this final couple of weeks to get this thing finished up, whatever it might be. Okay. The Star card here at the top of the Path of the Dove, I feel like you have a really spiritual connection to this work that you're doing, something that you're involved in. It feels very meaningful. Okay. It feels something that you maybe are doing some kind of philanthropic work, some kind of charitable work, something that I feel is going to help other people. Okay. And I know I say that in a lot of readings recently. It seems to be the vibe in February for some reason. But I feel like you're doing this for your own spiritual fulfillment, but it's also something I think that is there to help someone else. Okay. Now this could just be something between you and like one other person. It could be just a personal relationship. It could be a work project, a work relationship. It could be your relationship with a family member. But I definitely feel that there's kind of a close tie here somewhere. Okay. But you're the type of person that goes with your instincts. So I think with this Chariot card too, you're starting to feel a little bit run down from all of this activity, so you're kind of slowing your roll, right? You're letting this new system function and flow so that you can recover some of your vitality, some of your fortitude. Take a little bit of a rest. I think you listen to your instinct, you listen to your intuition, and that's what is your primary motivating force. You know what I mean? This is what you're aspiring to. It's like you're asking for guidance and you're receiving guidance, from the universe, from the world around you, from synchronicities, from meditation, prayer, from dreams, from, your own conscience, your own kind of still small voice. But I think you're definitely led by that spiritual impulse, And with this card too, I wouldn't be surprised if you have some kind of spiritual practices, meditation practices. I think more of like scrying or divination of some kind, maybe tarot, maybe something else, maybe scrying or astral work, maybe dream work. But I feel like you really are someone who works consciously to make that spiritual connection with the other, with the mystery, with the universe, with the spirit, whatever you want to call it. I think you're someone that strives for that connection, And then speaking of connection, I think the project that you're on the kind of horizontal plane of the path of the dove here is leading to this Queen of Cups. And this, I think, is a water sign person in your life. I think it may be maybe a maternal figure, maybe a mom type person. But I feel like whatever project you're doing, whatever work you're doing, whatever is your focus right now. And I say project, I don't mean, you're not building a barn or something, but you're working on something consciously. You're putting effort into something on a daily basis, okay? And that could just be something subtle like improving a relationship. It could be something work-related and an actual project, okay? I don't want to limit it to something concrete, is what I'm saying. But either way, it's kind of has a focus on this mom-type person, this possibly a water sign person. And I don't know what the relationship is or what the issue may be here with this person, but I feel like, because we said it was something that was going to help other people or be of a benefit to someone else. So in some way, I think maybe you're working on this in order to provide something for this person, this mom type person. It doesn't have to be your literal mother, okay? It's just a mom type person, the kind of maternal energy. But I feel like in some way you're going to be using the success of this project for this person. Maybe you're putting something in place to take care of this person or to provide for this person or to improve your relationship with this person or to find some closure in this relationship with this person, something, okay? But I feel like they're kind of a major factor in the next couple of weeks, right? The rest of the month of February. I don't think they're involved in the project directly, but it's something that you're kind of doing for them or that they're going to receive something through this project. You know what I mean? Down beneath the surface, we see a 3 of Wands. This is kind of like this is your conscience, really. Okay, this is you kind of, it takes direct instruction from this kind of spiritual link that you made, right? So these cards are kind of together. This is the more universal and esoteric. This is kind of just the more personal 3 of Wands. And I think this is your kind of personal code of ethics, your principles. What do you believe in? On what do you base right and wrong actions? Okay. So it seems to me that there's something involved in this situation that maybe you had a dilemma even entering into this situation or this work or this project, that you weren't sure if it was the right thing to do, or you weren't sure how this person would receive it, if it was the right thing to do for this person, or what they would think of it or how they would judge it. And so you started maybe having a little bit of a debate on kind of right or wrong. You kind of were trying to get your moral compass kind of dialed in. I feel there was some kind of a dilemma there. And that, I think, is a good reason to have the star card up above, because you're asking for and receiving that guidance to kind of, to try to resonate with what you feel is right inside, and you're looking for that confirmation, that spiritual insight into things. And I think you receive that, because I think you've forged that connection. I think that you've done the work to strengthen that connection with spirit. Okay. But I do think there was some kind of a dilemma here in you about the kind of the ethics involved here, the right or wrong of the situation. Maybe that's where we get some of this replacement energy, that something wasn't right and you had to kind of change something or swap something out, a plan, a person, a location, something like that. But I feel like it's all kind of directed towards this mom-type figure, this maternal energy that we're feeling over here. But let's go to the path of the serpent now and see if we can get a little bit of an idea of what is kind of going on here. I think this mom-type person is pretty central to it all, but so is your health, so is your wellness and your well-being. Okay, and that was the first card that we saw today. So I think it really is trying to emphasize that the end is very near. You're almost at the finish line. You have to take care of your physical health so that you can make it these next couple of weeks to get there. Okay. Despite everything else that's going on, you're committed to this work, to this path. You're committed to getting to the finish line, but you have to take care of yourself in order to get there. Okay. So Path of the Serpent here, we start with another court card. This is the Queen of Pentacles. This is kind of representing your general energy. I think that you have taken on a more kind of authority, a more leadership role in your life, in your family, maybe in the workplace. I'm still thinking this is more family than it is workplace, just because of the vibes that I get from some of these cards, especially this mom type figure that we have here. I feel like you've taken on some kind of a leadership role, or kind of like a head of the family kind of vibe. It could be that at this point in time there's a kind of a big transition, a big shift going on. That's the big project maybe involved with the family, something to do with this maternal figure. And it kind of rests on your shoulders. I don't think it's overwhelming. I don't think it's anything you can't handle. I feel like you are a servant leader, kind of a reluctant leader. You don't want to stand out and take charge and boss everybody around. But if you have to, or if that position is kind of thrust on you, if that responsibility is handed to you, then you have to accept, and you do a wonderful job at it. Okay? Queen of Pentacles. So I think you're kind of making the decisions. Maybe this is something like power of attorney. Maybe this is just, doing all the phone calls and taking care of all the business aspect of things. Making the decisions in general, I feel. Okay. But what we see next is a little bit interesting, because we've got this devil energy, this Capricorn energy. And it seems to me kind of like you, before all of this project, whatever this work is on the path of the dove, whatever this was, or is, before this, I feel like you were on kind of a different path. I feel like you had your ambitions, you had your goals, you had your aspiration, your work. You had your purpose. You had your own mountain that you were climbing. Okay? The goat energy. I feel like you've had to kind of put that on hold to deal with the path of the dove stuff. I feel like you're eager to get back to this. I think you're hoping that this really does wrap up by the end of the month, which I think that it will. You're hoping that you can kind of recover from it with that Chariot card. You can restore your vitality, your fortitude, and kind of put all of this behind you. Because you've got this mountain to climb. You've got this goat energy, this ambition. This could be career. This could be personal goals and aspirations. Could be relationship goals, life goals, whatever. But I think you've had to put these on hold to deal with this path of the dove situation. And I think this really shows a tremendous moral compass and the ethical considerations here, where you're not. Sometimes the Three of Wands will talk about pride and selfishness, you know, and I think you've put that kind of down beneath. You've put that on the back burner. Your pride, your selfishness, your ambition, your Capricorn, your devil energy. I think that you've made this kind of sacrifice, temporary sacrifice. We don't see any cards here indicating like a permanent sacrifice, you know, a permanent change. Excuse me. But I feel like you're ready to get back to this mountain. You know, you've still got your crampons on, you've still got your harness and stuff, and you're ready to climb. You had to stop and come down, deal with this. Once this is behind you, I think you're going to get back to your climbing. Whatever your mountain is. And I feel like it was not really asked of you. You weren't, you know, nobody made you, nobody forced you to do this. I feel like you take it as your responsibility. That Three of Wands kind of gives me that clue that you got to kind of come down the mountain because this is something that you had to deal with. There's no choice in duty, right? But then with this Queen of Pentacles, I feel like maybe it's kind of been taking longer than you thought, or you've been kind of thrust into this leadership decision-making role that you weren't really expecting. But you've accepted it and you're going to do a wonderful job, like I said, but it's just making this process take a little bit longer, I guess, because you kind of have to do everything. But you're ready to get back to this devil energy. I really feel it. And then we see next is this Prince of Wands. The Prince of Wands, someone that's ready to climb that mountain, has the eagerness, has the readiness, and if they don't go now, they're going to lose it. They're going to be, I don't want to anymore. It's either we go now, or I'm going to lose my fire, and I'm just going to do something else. This is in the position of your fears, worries, and concerns. I think that you are a little bit concerned that you may have missed the boat, that you may have missed the initial trek up to base camp. You know, that you had the fire and you had this ambition, this fire, this enthusiasm. But now that it's been diverted, you've had to change course, deal with the path of the dove. Now you're worried, well, am I still going to have that passion? And am I still going to have the energy and the vitality and the will and the desire to climb this mountain again? Or was that my chance? And the energy was there, but I couldn't execute at the time because I have other responsibilities, moral duties, right? So that's the concern. But what we see at the very end of the path of the serpent is more really good fiery energy. Five of Wands. This is fire in action. This is, you know, sometimes this card can manifest as like fisticuffs, as literally like battling against people. Like you just have so much force and fire, so much readiness and eagerness. You've got this kind of martial energy that you're just ready to start swinging at everything or start wrestling everything that comes your way, right? So this energy, without purpose, without direction, is pretty destructive. But you've got purpose, you've got ambition, you've got direction, you know. You've got a purpose in mind. So I think you're going to have this fiery energy, and it's almost like it's kind of being stored up with this Chariot card. You're starting to consolidate it again and concentrate it. Be sure that you apply this to the correct path, the correct direction. Use this to get that enthusiasm going, to get back on that trek up that mountain, you know. Don't let this just become destructive and violent and chaotic and without focus, you know. Because this has the potential to be rather without focus. You know, it requires the discipline to focus and harness and concentrate this energy onto a specific path, this particular mountain here with this devil energy. Whatever your ambition is, whatever your mountain is, it takes a lot of discipline to keep it on track, right? So I think this is a really good way to end the path of the serpent, but I want to see this mystery card. So I don't have much of a speculation on what this is or could be. It could be a lot of things. A lot of things would make sense here. But let's see what the focus needs to be. Let's see what this confirmation kind of is. Let's see what the mystery really is. The King of Cups. King of Cups. So, this is that fiery energy, because the kings represent the fire of the element, right? The fire of the water. So this is a lot of this fiery energy that we see on the path of the serpent, especially that final card, especially that 5 of Wands. That is now being channeled into your purpose, into your meaning in this kind of spiritual, religious sense of kind of destiny, of divine influence, and the spiritual insight that you have. You're going to feel this connection now through this fiery energy and where you're going to apply it. Okay, so what this is telling me is that, yes, this fiery energy is going to be under your control, and you're going to channel it into that, whatever this work, whatever this ambition, whatever this mountain is, that has this tremendous meaning for you, that has this kind of spiritual connection, this soul-satisfying component to it, right? What is it that you're meant to do? What is your real purpose right now? I know this kind of temporarily took over as your purpose, but now that this is going to be behind you in the next couple of weeks, what is your purpose? What is this goat energy, this devil energy? What is the mountain for you? Because that's where all of this fiery energy is going to be channeled into the path that has the most meaning and purpose for you. Okay. So this is a real confirmation that is kind of bringing us full circle. It's taking some of this fiery energy. It's going back into the satisfaction that you feel having completed the path of the dove work. Okay. Which ended with this water energy with the Queen of Cups. So it's kind of like your satisfaction, you're really going to feel good about accomplishing the work over here. And you're going to feel even better now that you're putting that behind you, and now you can focus on your mountain, your purpose, your work. Okay. And that's what we get with the King of Cups. So I think this is a really wonderful reading. We're going to look at the extended. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link that's right here. And you can have access to all of the extended readings for all signs, for all weeks, and all monthly videos and stuff too. This was your mid-February 2023 tarot reading on Dove and Serpent Tarot.